Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sons of Liberty podcast. You missed us. I know you missed us. Don't prove me wrong, or I will be very sad, and someone will die.
I don't think
know
they
who
missed
it
us.
is.
No, they definitely missed us.
They
I don't
definitely
think they
missed
did.
us.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they can live without us.
120%. If we were to disappear, so would the very foundation of logic and reason.
Dude,
We have
the
logic.
Republican Party would just disappear.
Facts
We're that
without
influential.
feelings.
Wait,
would
what about your
completely
Libertarian
disintegrate.
Party?
Libertarian is just Republican, but better. Anyways, let's start things off
right.
with the weekly Joe Biden slam.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
This one's gonna
Joe
be a
Biden.
little long because Joe Biden kind of fucked up a lot again.
Sonny, can you press Control Z?
It's been so long. I don't think I can.
What does Control Z
Press
do
con-
again?
Control Z harder, please.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right. Let's start with the weekly Joe Biden slam, boys.
It's probably gonna be most of the episode, so buckle in for some elder abuse with
Well, this is all the episode.
this first topic. KYKA, go.
So this week was a particularly bad week for Joe Biden. Let's just
What
say
is
he
it?
had how do I put this age appropriately? He had an anal issue this week, unfortunately.
You get fucking ass.
Wait, what?
No, he did not get or at least no one knows if he got,
I thought
fucking yes.
I thought Pride Month was in June.
Yeah, it is in
And then,
June,
and
but
then
maybe
that stupid fucking LGBT History Month is in October. It's November. There's no excuse.
maybe he's so old he forgot what month it is currently.
Oh, that's actually very plausible thing.
Let's stop dancing
Yeah.
around it with. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
what actually happened?
So Joe Biden, he met the Pope. All right. So he went to the Vatican. He met excuse me. He met the Pope, and let's just say there are rumors that he shit his pants.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are you serious?
So apparently, and I'll describe what the rumor is, and I'll quote them. So Joe Biden visited the Pope, and it was an unusually long meeting because of an apparent, quote, bathroom accident, which basically means he shit the pants.
Damn.
Yeah, and then
Damn.
after that started spreading around, Poopy Pants Biden, the hashtag, was trending on Twitter, which I find funny.
Yo,
Wait.
pants.
Was that
Biden.
actually the hashtag?
Yeah, literally.
Poopy head, poopy pants.
And the funny thing is, like, this rumor is not like it's not like an underground rumor. This is spreading throughout Rome. Okay,
Yeah,
so I just find that very funny.
That is funny. He's making our country look more like a joke than the fucking orange.
Yeah,
I mean, look. Like, the Pope being treated like a joke with how Christianity is right now in the West. I don't know. Binge,
Oh, this Pope is a joke, and so is our
Priest?
president.
but like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. But what I do know is that it's not about disrespecting the Pope. It's that Biden had another Biden moment, and that's just damn.
No, I'm here to disrespect Pope because I hate this Pope very much. So
that's a fair critique. He's not
Yeah.
very he doesn't really hold up his values very much. So
yeah, he accepts gay people even though, like, it's against his own words and his own book he preaches. But whatever.
I think the biggest issue is he's not firm on abortion. I feel
Yeah,
like
that too.
I think that's a pretty easy topic to
wait.
be firm on.
Wasn't there like this huge drama in Christian communities in America and in Europe that Joe Biden wasn't actually Christian, or no, he was actually Catholic.
Yeah.
Because he like outwardly supported abortion, and a bunch of lefties who were Christians, which, let's be fair, doesn't overlap a whole lot, but it does sometimes. And the people who they were like, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. They were basically like, supporting abortion is Christian, actually.
Bro, I hate these modern, like, religious people because they're, like, so leftist. It's just so stupid.
They,
Especially Catholics.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But you
Fuck
know
the
what's funny
Catholics.
about this? It's funny that you mentioned this, Sonny. So apparently, when Biden met the Pope, I'm
Hmm.
quoting him. This is what Biden said. Biden told him that, or the Pope told Biden that he should quote keep receiving communion. For even though he has conflicting beliefs with the Catholic Church, which is the abortion issue and the gay people issue.
Right.
So
The gay people issue.
Gay
so
people.
that came out so wrong. But like you get
Those
what I'm
gay
saying.
people, their issues.
Nah, the issue that the Catholic Church has with gay people. That's the better way of putting it. Excuse me. Anyways,
Down bad.
yeah, so people are wondering, like, did the Pope really say this? I think the Pope did. I surely do. But yeah, that's just
Fuck
one
the
area.
Pope. Fuck the Pope.
Yeah, I mean, not a very not a guy that really upholds his values, which is, people go to the church to to make sure their beliefs are valid, to get
Yeah.
questions answered, and when they can't even answer a simple question, it's kind of tough to take the current pope as a legitimate figure.
Yeah.
He's not, anyways.
Anyways, yeah.
I mean, basically, the only reason why he has any power at all, and this kind of goes for the entirety of the Catholic Church, but also just all churches in general, is basically that people believe in what they say, and so it's unlike the power of like a government or a corporation, where essentially the belief is the product that is being sold. You could think of it like that. And so if they are unbelievable or less believable and less trustworthy as public figures, that kind of directly goes into their worth as public figures. It's a very unique, I'm going to say industry, because that's kind of what it is when you think about it. I mean, how
Definitely.
can churches maintain themselves? Because everybody desperately believes what the church says because of tradition or because of, spirituality, or just because they think it sounds nice or whatever.
And some people genuinely want questions answered, so it's
Right.
very
Yeah.
unfortunate to see the church not,
Yeah, no, that I mean, yes, it's cringe, but like it will only hurt them. So I'm not
Right.
really, I'm not really worried, because I'm a cool atheist. There is no God. God is dead and we killed him. We're all gonna die alone in the vast void of eternal nothingness. Anyways,
yeah. Let's move on to the next Biden moment.
bro,
this week.
honestly, I feel like being an atheist is just sort of signing away to the fact that you will be depressed at least once. At least once.
Everyone's depressed once in a while.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah.
so that was
Well,
the incident with the Pope.
there was another incident, but not
What?
with the Pope. Yes.
No.
So like the summit for climate change that happened this week.
Yeah.
All right, so so apparently Biden was talking to the Duchess of Cornwall, right? Her name is Kamala Parker Bowles. I'm sorry if
Oh
I'm
my
mispronouncing
God,
it.
Kamala.
Yeah.
Another one. Okay.
Anyways, he was talking to this woman, or sorry, to the Duchess, and Biden allegedly let out a quote a long fart, and
Oh.
the Duchess of Cornwall quote hasn't stopped talking about it.
Oh. Wow.
So-
The leader of the free world, everybody. I mean, look, I get that on some level it's like it's uncontrollable, right? That's just like part of being
Bro,
like,
my
a
head
human being.
burrito.
But like the thing is, right? The only reason why this happened and why it's so public, it's not because Joe Biden farted, funny. It's because he's like so old that his body is starting to fall apart.
and he shit the bed apparently last week, so it's
So
it's impeccable timing.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Joe Biden's health, so in the same event where Joe Biden allegedly had a quote long fart, I'm not making this up. Joe Biden fell asleep during the climate change summit in the middle of the crowd this is important. He fell asleep after saying the world should, quote, wake up to climate change.
Joe, you should really follow your own advice.
We live in cloud world.
Bro, get this man a fucking pillow.
Bro, remember when like everyone was making the jokes like before the election happened about Sleepy Joe?
Man, Sleepy Joe.
It's just too good. It's too good.
And the best part is he had to be woken up right before the speech was ending so he could clap with everyone else.
Again, bro,
Amazing.
his body is just falling apart.
It's horrible, man.
Like, is this really how we want other nations to see us? As
Remember?
the old, decaying career politician that is Joe Biden? Is that really what we want to be representing us?
Yeah, that's
Damn.
hey, you know, everyone was talking about Donald Trump and his health problems, right? Because Donald Trump is not a very fit person. Let's put it like that.
And you know, he did get COVID.
Yes.
So, you know, that happened. And that was definitely something to consider. But, you know, I think there's a stark difference between, you know, getting COVID during a pandemic and shitting yourself in front of the Pope, possibly doing it again, and then just straight up falling asleep at a climate change wake up call. So that is oof. Ooh, that's bad. That
is like, there's some irony in that, you know.
Oh, it's all irony. It's all irony. We've been calling him Sleepy Joe since the very beginning, but like,
yeah, he's just proving our points.
Right?
And the point, okay, there's also a greater point to all of this, right? Remember when leftists were saying, oh, Trump is mentally unfit to take office, he should resign, the 13th, or excuse me, I forgot which amendment should be invoked so he could be removed from office, and Mike Pence, even though he was more conservative than Trump, should take office, right?
Yeah.
It's quite ironic, and it actually shows the media's bias towards one side of the political spectrum. I think this actually solidifies it.
I mean, like you needed that out of everything else to solidify it for you, but whatever.
No, but I think because Biden and Trump, they're common figures, right? Everyone knows who they are.
Yeah.
It's a very common, not idea, but a very common example to draw from. So I think everyone's being exposed to that now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll actually change, but you know.
Well, you know, I think another thing is, and this is just a problem with the United States in general. This isn't a political thing. Well, I mean, it is a political thing, but it's not a partisan thing. And it's that, you have to be at least 35 to be president.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know if that was a good call. I mean, maybe it was back then, but here's the thing, right? Yes, as technology advances, people are going to be able to live longer. But on some level, your physical prime is still going to probably be in the first, like, you know, your 20s. When you're in your 20s, you are arguably the most mentally and physically sound. Now, I'm talking more late 20s because if you're like 22 or 21 or whatever, you're probably still going to be a little stupid. You're still going to be a little bit of a kid. But if you're like 26, 25, 27, you're at your prime. You're at your peak. And ideally, we would have people like that as president, not fucking skeletons. I don't know. I feel like this whole, like, this weird puppet charade of these two political parties, like, propping up corpses to debate each other while they're, like, barely being held together and just saying, keep that heart beating, keep him in office. It's like, why can't we have a president that is actually competent and will live long enough to see the end of his term? I don't know. I feel like that's like a basic thing, and that would only be encouraged by reducing the age limit to be president of the United States. I mean, look, 35 isn't bad, but it's the minimum, and so there's no maximum. So you can just have these, like, absolute, like, I don't know. You kind of get my point, but it's just like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I also agree with you, Chao, though, and I'm a strict constitutionalist. But
Yeah,
I think
I'm
that
too.
I think the Route 5 was it was a good call at the time, bad call right now. I think it should be reduced to 25. I think
25 is
that's
reasonable.
yeah, I think that's when
I think that's a bit too low though.
Well, okay,
I
but
think 30. I'll meet you in the middle. 30. Cause then again, like 25, your brain just finished developing. You still need new information. Some people are still in college. You still have to learn more about the government, how it works, how the networking works. You still need to learn a lot.
right, but remember, Horta, fuck, Sunny, right? But remember, Sunny, this is just a minimum, right? So it doesn't have to be, like every president just starts joining, from 25. But the thing is, 25 makes sense because it's a scientifically proven cutoff point at where the brain fully develops. Before 25 doesn't make sense because you're still an immature person. But 30, while not bad, again, like 35, it's definitely better, but it's still sort of, it lacks that late 20s gate of opportunity where most people arguably get the most out of their lives. The hardest grind, the most work. And as for people learning and, acquiring life skills, that's what the early 20s are for, right? And that's what, adolescence and arguably even the later parts of childhood. These are all parts for developing character, but once you're 25, your character's mostly done. I mean, not forever. Obviously, you'll still grow as a person, but I'm just saying, like, 25 I feel like makes a lot more sense than 30, but both are way better than 35.
definitely.
Let me put this in perspective for you guys. So there's this YouTuber who it's getting popular as recently that he said he went in an interview and he said he wants to run for president when he turns 35. Now let's move it to your 25-year-old thing. He can actually run right now since he is 26. Would
Yeah.
you want Logan Paul to be your president?
Well, I mean, if he wins the election fair and square.
Yeah, like if the democratic process is that fucking like brain dead to where they would elect Logan Paul as the president of the United States, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't have a problem with it.
But
I mean, I would disagree.
like him to run for president. Like
I
Yeah.
mean, look, I wouldn't like Hillary Clinton to run for president because I think she's a fucking slime bag, but
But at
It's
least
not-
she's
it's out
more
of my
mature.
control.
Do you think that?
no, I honestly think Logan Paul has more maturity than Hillary Clinton.
Yes,
I
easily.
I don't think so.
Because
I really
everything
don't
she
think
says
so.
is fake. She doesn't have to actually grow herself as a person because she can just spat out like pre-recorded lines and just go
Because
with
she's
that.
already grew as a person. If you think about it, she's at the age where she already grew. Logan Paul's still growing as a person.
I don't know if she look. This is what Hillary Clinton doesn't have on Logan Paul. Hillary Clinton has not grown out from her mistakes. All right, Hillary Clinton has done a lot of fucking mistakes. Right, she did. She had the Benghazi situation. She had the Hillary Clinton Foundation taking funds from foreign governments
And don't
and
forget
not
the
reporting
emails.
them. Yeah, she deleted almost 40,000 emails
Was
without
it
any
30,000?
repercussions. 30,000, whatever. But the point is, she's made many mistakes, but she hasn't learned from any of them. At
And she
least
hasn't
Logan
had to.
Paul. Yeah, at least Logan fucking Paul, right? Biggest mistake, the Japanese forced.
Right.
He's learned from that,
He
okay?
has. He's still
That-
kind of a douche, but he's better now. He's much better. And that kind of personal growth happened within the earlier half of his 20s. Now, he's in his later half, and he's more mature. Yes, he's still kind of an idiot. I wouldn't want him as my president, but I wouldn't be against him running.
Definitely.
But okay, how I'm thinking like this is like I would not want people like him to run or try to run our country. because I feel like they're just immature. They make too many mistakes. Because at that age, you're making all these mistakes. So in your 30s, you learn from those mistakes, and you've learned, and you're mature. That's what I'm trying to get. Because like in your 20s, that's what you do. Like you make all these mistakes to learn from.
Well,
I don't know. I
okay,
feel like that could be said against any politician.
but whatever. Look, the hypothetical best age minimum, arguably or maximum, for the president is kind of irrelevant. We don't need to know the specifics, but what we do need to know is that someone like Joe Biden, who is barely keeping himself together, doesn't become the norm.
That is true.
That's the worst possible outcome. We do not want that. That would be bad.
We are treading dangerously into presidents over 70 years of age and older.
Yeah. And like, I mean, even Trump, he's kind of old. I mean, he's not like falling apart at the seams, flesh dropping from his forearm, but he's definitely not young. He's not in his prime. He's lived a life of McDonald's ads and sponsorships and the rich, lavish lifestyle, and it's taken a toll on his body and arguably his mind. Look, if there's definitely a lot of good things to say about Trump, I'd argue. A lot more than most people on the left or even just the center would give him credit for. But he's just not the ideal candidate for this country. But Biden is way worse. I don't think we should be shooting for either of these kind of age ranges for the presidency, because it directly impairs with their judgment. But anyways, let's go back to the other things we have about Biden tonight, because I'm sure there are a lot.
Oh, yeah. So we talked about poopy pants, both situations.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about his crumbling health.
Yeah.
Now we have to talk about the infrastructure bill. Now.
Huh? Oh,
remember?
right, the infrastructure bill from 18?
18?
Was it 18 or 19?
Oh, I don't even remember. But the point is...
It was a couple episodes ago. Go watch those. It'll be linked in the cards, and if it's not, someone dies today.
Wow.
Whoa, are you killing things?
Yes.
Wow, pointing out the obvious.
Yes.
Anyways, so if you don't know, there's a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that is presented at face value in Congress. Now, the issue is it's not really a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. It's more like around $3 trillion.
Oh,
some
great.
estimates put it at 2.7 trillion. The point is the government is using loopholes to make it seem smaller in size.
Damn.
Yeah, and so that infrastructure bill, it was dubbed the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It passed the Senate a while ago. All right, it's been a couple months. Now, what it hasn't passed through is the House, and that's because progressives in the House, they demand that the $3.5 trillion bill. Remember we talked about that a while ago?
Ah, yes. The purity spiral and the endless infighting.
Right.
Yes.
They demanded the $3.5 trillion bill be passed in coordination with the $1.2 trillion bill, which is never going to happen.
Right. Well, of course, we discussed before that their dream is actually the $5.5 trillion bill.
No, that's the $3.5 trillion bill is actually estimated to be $5.5 trillion.
Oh, those are the same thing. Okay, yeah, but
yeah.
But that's what it'll end up costing, because they have absolutely no the perspective or understanding of what money is. But that's regardless, I guess.
Yeah.
So right, so the bipartisan in air quotes infrastructure bill passed in.
To be fair, it passed the Senate a while ago, and it passed the House.
It did.
Okay.
Yes,
and it was signed into law.
Oh, great. Awesome.
And you will not believe how it passed.
How did it pass?
It passed with 13 Republicans voting for it.
What?
Yes. And, dude,
Right.
let me explain to you something. If no Republicans voted for the bill, this thing could have died. All right, and it could have died because the squad, like AOC, Cory Bush, Rashid Tlaib, those type of people, the progressives, they were not going to vote it for any circumstance. And they didn't vote for it. 6 Democrats voted against it, and they were all the progressives. But the Republicans, they're like, you know what? Maybe we should give Joe Biden a win. And that's what they did.
I love giving Biden a win.
Yeah. Kind of
Fuck.
sucks. Because
Our
his
future
approval ratings.
sucks.
Well, not only our future. This is actually. The Republicans are going to take back the House in 2022. This is a surefire flare, right? But it's going to fuck up our future. So it doesn't even help because Biden's approval ratings are 38% right now. Only 38% of the country approves of him right now.
What was Trump's at the time?
I think it was like in the same range. But you have to understand with Republicans, you kind of have to give them like plus 5 points in most general polls.
Wait. Hold on. My brain just like did a blue screen. Did you just say that 13 Republicans voted for the bill?
Yep.
What? What?
Yep.
Friendly fire? Hello?
They basically gave Joe Biden a small win. But as we know, when you put more money into the economy that's not needed, this actually creates more inflation, not less. And so the economy
that's literally what inflation means. Lol.
Yeah. And, Biden's like, you know what? Inflation, it's transitory, even though it's been going on for like a year at this point.
Yeah,
it's transitory, guys.
Yeah, of course, because Joe Biden is an economic master. I bet he passed Economics 101 with at least a C.
You know what's crazy? AOC has a degree in economics.
Wait,
actually?
Yeah, that's her degree from college.
And yet she's a socialist.
Yes.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so how does that work out? So
basically, she's dumb.
Okay, so I'm assuming that basically she took the economics degree because she was a socialist, and she basically wanted to use her degree to validate socialism in the minds of skeptics.
Exactly.
That's I mean, I respect the grind, I guess, but
the grind.
When you're that like I don't know, ideologically possessed, when you're that like focused on getting your ideas to work by literally lying about the validation requirements in order to prove it, I don't know. For me personally, that's kind of the actions of a fraud that should not be listened to or trusted. But that's just me, I guess. No, yeah, I want to hear the socialist. I want to hear the socialist lecture to me about economics. Yes. I want them to tell me how socialism is actually the final solution for humanity and not the bad German kind.
Yeah, let's talk about the Jewish problem while we're at it.
It's just, well, I mean, that's obviously just one funny little thing where they're like, Marx was the best and he was like so great, and comparing him to Hitler is like totally false. And then you bring up the Jewish question and they're just like, that wasn't Marx, or yeah, Marx wrote it and he's totally right.
Yeah, because they also hate Israel for whatever reason.
Bro, either way you spin it, you're just like, you're either left being completely oblivious or just kind of a terrible person.
Yeah.
And obviously I like to believe that they're like oblivious, right? I don't like believing that people are naturally this just like terrible. That they'd basically support what the Nazis did and at the same time call everyone they dislike Nazis, but I know it's not impossible. So, Anyways, that's more general stuff. Let's get more back into the specifics with the boomer sitting in the White House. What else is going on?
All right, so this is the final piece about Joe Biden this week, and it is about the job report that was recently announced.
Uh-huh.
So, for a long time, jobs numbers, they've been always reaching under the expectations, right?
Right.
And that's probably due to the fact that the federal government keeps on paying people to stay home, right?
Not to mention
That's
the
it.
fact that they literally locked down the economy for a little under 2 years.
Yeah.
And we're still
So,
not really totally out.
right. This past month, the federal unemployment benefits were taken away, right? You can't get them no longer.
Mhm.
And interestingly enough, job creation it actually surpassed estimations. And Joe Biden is out there just saying, "Man, my economic policy, it's so amazing. I told you guys, inflation's transitory. We're gonna get through this. Rising stocks, even though they're like, oh no, stock's bad. They're also saying my COVID policy is just making people want to go to work, which is why the economy's booming right now. Even though,
God.
even though less than 100,000 jobs were above expectations, which is not a lot when you compare it to the grand scheme of things, because it's like I think the job report for like the past year has been off by almost 1 million jobs when you add it subsequently together. So just amazing things here in this.
Oh
this
yeah, no, just absolutely amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we have to give thanks to like people like Jeff Bezos, was shitted on for being rich and like not, being taxed as much as we
Right.
are.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's the one putting food on your guys' tables, so
To be
go fuck
honest,
yourselves.
Although I will say one thing about Jeff Bezos, I will say, this is just sort of like rich people squabbles, and so I don't entirely care all that much. But it is kind of important to like say, and this doesn't sound entirely political at first, but just hear me out. You know that Jeff Bezos took a ride to space that one time, and like everyone was talking about like how the rocket kind of looked like a dick or something.
phalanx shaped.
Yeah, and like that was the only like discussion being had, which is very disappointing for the human race. More importantly, though, about, than all of this is, apparently Amazon and Jeff Bezos have been trying to compete with Elon Musk.
For a while, yes.
Well, right, but specifically in universal Wi-Fi. It's sort of a new market that Elon Musk essentially created, or he didn't create it, but he's definitely like leading the charge here, with his program called Starlink. And so basically, Elon Musk has a bunch of SpaceX satellites that he's putting in orbit. Right now he's in Gen 1, and he's working on Gen 2. And Gen 2 is going to make it so much better. But the important part is, if no matter where you are, anywhere in the world, if you pay $99 a month for Starlink, you can get service. And it's pretty incredible. It's what, cell providers have been dreaming of for the longest time, but because Elon also owns SpaceX, he can totally do it. And they're using a whole new types of rockets and efficient technology to get all the Gen 2 satellites into space. It's being rolled out basically right now, and it's awesome. It's really, really awesome. This is the future.
Yeah, and one thing to note here, you know how leftists like to shit on Elon Musk for his wealth because he's worth upwards to $300 billion?
They hate him because they're envious, because they're jealous.
But he could only accomplish Starlink because of his wealth.
Right.
That's the crazy part.
He actively went out of his way to make the world better with his wealth, just like so many others did. Remember Bill Gates?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
Yes.
Yeah, they did some really, really, really good things, and they were only able to do the good things because of their wealth. But anyways, back to Starlink. So yeah, Jeff Bezos is trying to, and Amazon are trying to compete with a similar service, but they're not as good as Elon at it. And so instead of actually performing their own system, which isn't even out yet, but they're planning on it, right? Instead of performing their own product and improving on it, they chose to specifically go out of their way to put legal troubles and barriers in front of Elon and Skylink.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so essentially, yes, it's just billionaire squabbles, but it's really disappointing because for a long time I kind of felt like the hate against Jeff Bezos was literally just because he was rich. But at this point, Elon Musk is actually like going out of his way to like providing this service that is really going to help a lot of people who don't have easy access to cell towers or cell plans, and it's going to give cell plans really good competition anywhere in the world. This is like all really good stuff. And then Jeff Bezos is low-key kind of ruining it through legal asterisks so that Starlink Gen 2 can't launch as fast so that he can launch his competing product. It's really sad, and it's... While it is completely at the hands of Amazon that Amazon is doing this, they're only able to do this because of the government. It's legal troubles. It's copyright. It's the abuse of the concept of intellectual property that we see so much in the 21st century. And it's only possible because of the government and because of inefficient laws and regulations.
Right.
When you go deep enough, you end up finding that the government's hands are everywhere, and that's usually not a good thing. Speaking of government hands not being where they should be, and that usually not being a good thing, let's talk more about Joe Biden. Is there anything else?
That was the last topic of Joe Biden.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, now I look like an idiot, don't I?
Yeah, we're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse and his trial. So I'm going to provide some context because Kyle Rittenhouse is... I would say he's been in the news in the past, but, people probably forgot about him.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse is a guy, and he went to Kenosha, Wisconsin during all the riots to go and protect a business with actual firearms. And BLM/Antifa, they started to run at Kyle Rittenhouse. Some had guns. They pointed at Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse shot them and killed some people. And the prosecution in Kenosha, Wisconsin, are alleging that Kyle Rittenhouse, shot these people without any merit or warrant.
Right, it's bullshit. That was total self-defense.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
And the point I'm trying to make here is it's a very clear and obvious contention for self-defense, and it seems like the prosecution is just using this case to kick off more Antifa/BLM riots to occur.
Great.
In the country.
Just what we needed.
They're trying to turn this into a race issue when it clearly was not. And let's actually, let's point to the prosecution and how horrible their actual case is against Rittenhouse. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to play a clip on screen.
Hollow point bullets are designed to hit the animal that they're being shot at, let's say a deer, for example, and explode inside that body, correct?
No, I don't think so.
When you say explode, are you saying expand or explode? Because there are such things as exploding bullets.
Sure. Let me rephrase.
Oh,
what?
That's...
Are they stupid?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
And the Kyle Rittenhouse, when he was asked the question, did you use hollow point bullets, and what are they? Did they explode upon impact? And Kyle Rittenhouse was like, "Bro, what? You're down bad." And then the judge was like, "Yeah, you're pretty down bad. I don't know what you're asking him." Yeah.
r/murdered by words.
And it gets worse for the prosecution. All right.
I like how the judge is just like, "What the fuck you talking about, bro?"
Yeah.
Right.
So the judge, he gets fed up with the prosecution.
Yeah.
He starts yelling at the actual fucking prosecution.
Damn.
So I'll highlight the clip.
Based judge, hello?
Why would you think that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury? I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that. And it gives, well, I'll leave it at that.
Okay, I do have one thing to say about this thing. It's funny. it is very funny watching this like unfold, because like I get that the judge is just like totally just done with this guy's bullshit, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just totally not getting it and reading into things that I really shouldn't. But the judge just sounds so, I don't know. Like, have you guys ever seen the fucking like crying soy Wojak?
Oh my fucking gosh.
That looks like how he sounded in that whole exchange. The only difference being he was totally right. The judge. So like it's weird because like he was totally going off on him, but it just felt super, I don't know, immature, I guess. But he was totally right. He was totally right that this lawyer was totally out of his reach. I feel like he could have gone in a much better way of explaining that in a much more calm demeanor than just sort of, I don't know, audibly crying at him, which is kind of what it sounded like.
So I think, let me explain to you, right? I think this is where the judge is coming from. And he's coming from the position that he believes that this case is kind of a phony trial. And, this is, I think, the 6th day of just interrogation, of just questioning, of just testification.
Wait, it's the 6th day?
Yeah. And they go on for hours, all right?
Oh.
So I think he's really, really tired with the prosecution.
Tired of this. Okay, I understand now. I feel like anyone would be like that if you had to listen to hours upon hours of that shit for 6 days. That's a week. A week. I would not want to listen to that guy with his this poker face and his like pre-recorded lines head ass like spit lies at me for 6 days. Nah.
Yeah, I think his position's pretty reasonable.
Bro, I honestly, I'd be just as pissed.
Yeah.
I would.
Anyways.
I would have said more curse words than that if I was judge, but yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So let's talk about Rittenhouse, right? The guy that's centered around this trial. So, the prosecution asked Rittenhouse, he was on the stand, they asked him to recount his experience of shooting the individuals and killing some people. And he was 17 years old at the time. He's 18 currently now. And he breaks into tears.
And there were there were 3 people right there.
Take a deep breath now.
That's what I. That's where I run.
We're gonna just take time for our break anyway.
So, like, this is honestly a very fucked experience for him because he's reliving a traumatic experience of people holding guns to him. And trust people, a lot of people say, "Oh, I can take a life. I can take a life." It's not easy to take someone's life. It's really not.
I mean,
And
it's
that
not
life will
assuming
always
you're
harm
not-
you.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, it's not, with the exception of like, I guess, like sociopaths or psychopaths or whatever.
Yeah.
But most people, the 99.9 percentile of people, will be essentially deeply crushed and horrified by killing someone, especially if it's their first time, because the effects of killing someone on the human psyche are, biologically selected for, so that we don't just all kill ourselves and go extinct. Not to mention the fact that, the grief that it causes to, the person who was, person who dies, families, and those connections. It's a very deeply human thing to receive trauma from killing someone. And I feel like in a similar way to how you have to be kind of like sociopathic or psychopathic to not really care if you kill someone, I feel like you have to be arguably equally psychopathic to not empathize with someone who is going through that trauma.
I mean, he was like 17 when he killed somebody, right?
Quite literally a minor, yeah.
Yeah, it's a minor, so that's even worse. That's even worse.
Is he being tried as a minor, or is he...
I'm pretty sure he's being tried as an adult, but I may be wrong. It just, usually when you're a minor, 17, 16 years old, and you're being tried for murder, you usually are being tried as an adult. That's usually what happens. But yeah. Really fucked up shit in that trial happening right now.
That whole thing is really fucked up.
Waste of time.
I mean, props for the judge for allowing Kyle to have a break and take a breather so he can actually form his thoughts.
Yeah, that was... No, you know what I gotta say? Based judge.
Well, it's not only that he's, like... Okay. I don't want to say that he's based because that implies he has a bias. It's very obvious, right?
I mean, like... He's based in his principles. His principles of if someone is going through trauma and is reliving that trauma and is struggling to cope with it, to give them a break, to give them the space they need to take it in and process what they're going to say. That is based, not because they have an opinion that I agree with. It's because they have good moral principles. Based on what? Based on humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, no, I get that based is kind of like a meme-y term, and this is no joke. So, I just, I'm not very well equipped to deal with things like this. This is a very serious situation.
If Democrats really just wanted a systemic racism case again, they could just say it outright. I don't know why they need this trial. This is obviously not necessary or required. This is just putting the guy through more trauma.
Maybe that's what they want.
Perhaps, but it's kind of fucked to do that to a guy as young as him.
Do we seriously need to bring up the case of what happened when a minor, I think he was like legit, like I don't know if he was 17 or if he was 16, but still, it was something young but not terribly young, so definitely still a minor, but whatever. There was the kid who made the gif of Donald Trump suplexing CNN, who was then doxxed and harassed by Antifa on behalf of CNN, I believe. And that whole thing, nobody ever brings it up ever again because it was the left in the wrong. And in the mainstream media, the left is never wrong because the left is marching towards utopia.
You want to know something interesting? So the prosecutor, and this is actually quite funny because we made a video about this in high school, debunking that video games lead to violence. Anyways, the prosecution was trying to make a connection that because Kyle Rittenhouse occasionally played Call of Duty, that contributed to his the violence he took to kill all these people.
Yeah, 360 no scopes really led him to murder people in real life.
Exactly.
I was saying,
bro,
yo, I gotta be scared of Allier. don't make.
Gotta be scared of the intro, dude.
Bro, I don't know, man. Ninja, bro. Do you think he doesn't have shurikens? That he don't got no katanas?
He's gonna crank 90s on me.
Hey,
Gosh
bro,
dang
he's
it.
gonna
be scared.
90s on me, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's
the trial.
That's the trial, and it's it's really hard not to feel just so bad for him.
Right, and there's obviously more things in the trial. I haven't gone through all of the trial, but eventually I will, and we'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, maybe we'll revisit this topic for.
Oh yeah, we definitely will, because we need to look at the leftist response to the.
Oh yeah.
To him being acquitted, yeah. So.
I mean, You'll get it in like 5 weeks. You know, when next decide to
5 weeks,
record.
6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10
It could-
weeks, 10
Legitimately,
months,
this could take
10 years.
another 6 months. No joke.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be when our next episode will be.
Yeah,
And-
we'll be ready.
Yeah. It depends on the jury, of course, but
Okay.
we'll see.
So, that whole thing was situation with Kyle Rittenhouse's trial. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about. We've already discussed the situation with Starlink, as it relates to Elon Musk, but there's another situation with our old buddy, our old SpaceX crypto killing buddy, Elon, and his situation with taxes.
Yeah.
The ultimate
I love
form of
evading
theft
taxes.
that no one ever likes to acknowledge. You have to
So-
pay it, you have to get it right, or jail for you.
It's not like they could tell us, you know, what we owe.
Right.
Only if that was a
God
thing.
forbid. God
But-
forbid.
But Elon actually likes paying his taxes, right? He's a big advocate for taxation.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Uh,
So let me explain to you. So
I
he's a-
disagree with Elon Musk. Therefore, I can't like him anymore. Okay, you know what? Okay, Starlink is shit, and I support Jeff Bezos' alternative. I think that ultimately, I feel like competition in the market is a very good thing, and that we should be encouraging it, and that, you know, maybe trademarking the word sky is a very reasonable approach to dealing with competition. You know, maybe just whichever business can survive the legal onslaught deserves to exist. And, you know, maybe it should be Bezos. Maybe it should be Amazon. Maybe it should be
Bezos.
only Amazon.
You
Maybe
seen New World? Come on.
Brave New World brought to you by Amazon. Oh, that's
Yo, we're sponsored.
that's the good future.
Yo, sponsors.
Okay,
Yo, Daddy Bezos. Come on.
I'll
Alright.
stop giggling. I don't know. I do not agree with that. Elon.
but
Bad take.
okay. So he actually doesn't like unrealized taxation. All right. He doesn't
What does
like
that
it,
mean?
But basically, you know how you earn money or not? You passively. It's not. It's hard to describe, right? When you invest into a stock and you reap some rewards, you
Right.
actually passively earn money, but you don't because you haven't, cashed out.
Right.
So that's what we call unrealized gains, or what the Democrats call it.
Yeah.
You already get taxed once you sell your stock, right? If you make a profit, that's called a capital gains tax, and the highest percentage you could go right now is 28%. Most people don't pay 28% because you have to do it with very specific stocks. Most people pay at most 21%.
Okay.
And the Democrats are trying to pass a bill where every your unrealized gains can be taxed, which is stupid, right? They relate it to the house. But the difference with the house, right, is you're actively paying a mortgage. Yeah, you're actively, paying maintenance, and you could obviously refinance it whenever you would like.
Right.
You can do all these to a house. But with stocks, if you literally don't touch it, you gain nothing
Right.
besides the future prospect of hopefully cashing out and making a profit.
Which, of course, is assuming that the stock doesn't ever crash.
Right. So the people that are holding the stocks hold the most risk, but they also gain the most reward.
Right.
That's how that works.
That's why
But-
the stock market exists at all.
Right. And Democrats want to tax unrealized gains, and Elon Musk is like, that's bad. All right. That why would you do that? He's
Right.
earning all of his money is essentially in Tesla stock.
I mean that's kind of like a no-brainer, right? Like,
Right.
what is the point of taxing money that, for all intents and purposes, doesn't exist yet?
Exactly. So Elon Musk was like, you know what? I'm going to make a Twitter poll. And if this Twitter poll gets a majority of votes, I will sell 10% of my Tesla stock and pay capital gains on it. And the Twitter poll got 57.9% majority. So he has to sell 10% of his Tesla stock. And just today, today is November 10th, he sold $1.1 billion worth of Tesla stock. It's like less than 1 million Tesla shares.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's holding up to his promise. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, no. Very, very based. I mean,
Yeah.
not very
Well-
based that he supports taxation. It is theft, but I mean, very, very based that he is sticking to his moral principles. Whatever. Hey, can we get back to how he disagrees with me?
Yeah, go for it.
Ugh, I can't believe it. Shouldn't he understand that it is best interest that I'm not even gonna do it. I'm
Yeah.
just too dead. I
know.
can only giga for so long.
People are speculating that he sold this many taxes, or sold this many stock, just because Democrats are actually pushing through this unrealized gain taxation. So, if he could pay capital gains early, he could sort of write it off and avoid that train. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of theories on why he's selling it. Actually,
Yeah. You know what?
Exactly.
You know what? I think that Elon Musk is good. Let's talk about
But
vaccines.
one thing.
Shut the
One
fuck.
thing. No, this is important. All right. So Elon Musk has 190 million shares of Tesla stock, right?
Yes.
But he could also buy at any time 70.
Okay, let's talk about vaccines in the NFL. Okay.
Wait.
Yeah. You take the topic.
I
off
got
about
this, guys. I got this. All right, guess what? So in the NFL this past week, a very famous quarterback by the name Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, has contracted COVID. But guess what? He has been exposed for falsely, getting. He basically said he was vaccinated, but he actually wasn't, and
Oh
he
my
got
god!
so much shit for it.
No. Crazy.
And,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And he goes on this interviewed by Pat McAfee, an old NFL punter who's changing the game for podcasters out there. He's actually my inspiration. I love you, Pat McAfee. You keep doing your thing. Anyways, he goes in this interview and he explains why he didn't get the vaccine. A, because he's allergic to one of the ingredients. B, because there might be some fertile, dysfunctions that the vaccine may have for the future. Then again, this is very new, so we don't really know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes on to say in this one clip, and I'll let you guys watch it. It's in the link I put. It starts at 38:55, ends at 39:21.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just watch it, and then we'll go back on.
Okay. So, I've watched it, and I genuinely think, that something should be done. Something should seriously be done
With who?
with this man. I want something done to him regarding the continuation of his life. Considering that he is in fact a centrist, and that is not okay.
I don't think essentially just basically just says fuck politics. I think that's respectful.
So
he's
he's apolitical. That's worse.
To be honest, Chao, this is how I kind of look at it. Obviously, he holds some type of political belief. Can't really get away with that.
Well, he literally just said fuck politics, but okay.
Yeah, but that's a political belief, correct?
Well, it's a political belief about not having a political belief. It's meta politics.
Meta, like Facebook. Anyways.
Meta funny.
I do think that it is admirable and respectable, as Sunny said.
Honestly,
because,
I agree. I'm just playing. Look,
Yeah.
You know what? If you don't want to be interested in politics, honestly, more power to you. I wish I could leave Twitter. I wish.
can.
I wish that
you
someday
wish.
I will be free from the prison of Twitter hot takes, but I can't, and that's just how it is. If you can be free from the prison of Twitter hot takes, I definitely recommend it. If you wish not to be political, go ahead. If I catch you being political but lying about it, that's bad. Don't do that. Either be political or don't, but don't lie about it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I
mean,
feel like if you're not going to vaccinate yourself, but you don't really have an opinion on vaccines, and you just don't want it for yourself, I don't know, it's kind of political, but if you don't want to make it a political thing, I totally get it. More power to you.
I mean, there's more to the vaccine than just politics. Is also, health, religious. There's multiple variables.
Well, I mean, yes, but almost all of those variables are in some way related to politics. Because, I mean, okay, religious squabbles are definitely, directly related to political squabbles. Because, essentially, they deal with a lot of the same problems. The church as a community is just as ripe for chaos as the political community. So, I mean,
What about health factors?
health factors.
You can't take that
Are
into.
you talking about? You're talking about big pharma? You're talking about like, the controversies, regarding what people do with their own bodies? Yeah, that's all political.
No, I'm talking about like if they're allergic to any ingredients in the vaccine. That kind of health problem. That's not political
Well,
at all.
okay, I mean, I don't know, man. You know that some like radical lefty is gonna make having allergies political.
Radical lefty, be in our comments, please. I wanna read
Please,
it.
please, we want hate mail. We will
I want to
gladly
make a
read
short
it.
video
We will
of just
gladly
reading
read it,
the
and we will
comments.
probably dox you. We hope.
No, no.
Damn
We're
it!
not. We're not Antifa.
I need a 2 out of 3 majority from these losers to dox you. Let me dox
No,
you.
you need a 3 out of 3.
No,
do
well,
need
yeah,
to
sorry,
go
no,
to
we need a 3 out of 3 in order for me to dox anyone who watches our videos. Also, by the way, subscribe. We're almost at 20 subscribers.
Exactly.
Oh my god, we're so influential.
Talkers, we're almost at 20.
We're almost at
What?
20.
By the way, this
I'm
wasn't
coming
even the
for
end
ya.
of the fucking whole drama between this guy. He got
What
fined.
did you say, sisters?
Oh my god. You
Wait,
guys-
there's more?
There's more. He got fined $300,000
Why?
I mean, well, that's probably like a slap on the wrist for that guy, right?
Wait, no, but why?
for falsely saying he got vaccinated or not obeying the COVID guidelines. So basically, because he got COVID, he gets fined.
He is worth
This-
$120 million, so
Bro, that doesn't matter.
It's more symbolic than anything for the left.
No, but like 350,000 is still a lot of money. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
true.
as much money to him because he has a lot of it, but it's still a lot. And
I mean-
even if this was like 350,000 off the back of someone like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or whatever, it wouldn't matter. It's still $350,000.
It's at 300.
Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
it-
would you like if someone took $30 out of your wallet, Arya? I mean, KYKA. Let me say that. Would you like if someone took $30 from your wallet, KYKA?
No, I'm just saying it's more. What I'm saying is it's more symbolic than anything.
I suppose. I guess.
Bro,
But still.
honestly, I don't really like it, like this whole like economies of scale BS. $350,000 is $350,000, and it doesn't really matter who it's coming from. Obviously, it's gonna impact him less, but that's not really relevant. The important
True.
part is they've took somewhere like $350,000 from him because he got
Big
COVID
mad.
and didn't get vaccinated. That is fucking terrible, and that's really not looking great for the state of the country and the world. But I mean, we already knew we lived in clown world from the first
Yeah.
topic, so
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, YouTube is
Speaking of
clown world.
retardation. Oh.
what?
YouTube is clown world because they disabled likes.
Okay,
or they're
okay,
removing
hold
it.
on. I need
No,
to-
they
I
didn't
need
disable likes. What?
Okay,
They're
hold on.
removing them.
I
or
need
dislikes.
it's dislikes. Okay, also I need to preface this topic by saying, really quickly, that yes, this isn't strictly political. There is a political bent to it, and we'll definitely talk about that in this topic. But this is more of just a general topic that I feel like people who watch political YouTube would be interested in because it affects general YouTube. So, I'll start us off by saying this is going to be a gradual change, but it starts, I believe, the day we're recording this, which is November 10th. YouTube, which has been low-key teasing this for a little while, actually,
Naughty, teasing me.
is going to start phasing out the dislike feature. The reasons are plenty, but the big one is, as has been stated in previous interviews, I believe in 2018 and 2019, that YouTube is genuinely afraid of the dislike mob, which of course doesn't exist, but it's very believable if you're the one getting dislike spammed. So essentially, the theory goes that you have a bunch of people who come into your video and like spam dislike, and it will hurt it in the algorithm because there's a bunch of dislikes on it, and it'll hurt the ratings, and people will think it's a bad video, even though it was just a dislike mob and you couldn't control it. There's a lot of problems with this, but the main one is that the dislike mob usually doesn't exist. What it really is a lot of viewers who see a video that they don't like, and they press the dislike button. It's not a bunch of evil trolls, because trolls aren't that coordinated. If you've seen most projects on 4chan, with the exception of, like, I don't know, that thing with pools closed, or like he will not divide us, that trolling thing, and a couple others. But most trolling campaigns that start on these kind of websites like 4chan or whatever, by just like absolute like, you know, cynical people who don't really have anything else going on in their lives. They exist, but they don't usually get off the ground. And they're not going to be the reason why you got a bunch of dislikes in your latest video. You got a bunch of dislikes because either it was very controversial, or you just made a lot of people mad. And that is nobody's fault but your own. I think it's very telling that the kind of people who can't handle dislikes on their videos just so happen to also be the kind of people who support ideologies that want to censor people from saying things that they don't agree with. That's right. Well, obviously you know that YouTube is woke as shit, but more importantly, it's the people who were originally advocating for this problem. I believe it was... Oh, who was it again? Oh, right. You might have heard of her. Anita Sarkeesian, who originally, in 2016, brought up the concept of the dislike mob to YouTube's attention when a bunch of anti-feminist or just generally centrist people were against her message of radical feminism in 2016 before it became mainstream. And she called it a dislike mob, and in reality, it was just people pushing back against her radical narrative. But now, YouTube themselves are considering the dislike mob to be a legitimate force of evil to crush your YouTube dreams. And the fact of the matter is, it just doesn't exist. I mean, there are isolated cases where a large group of people, you could call a mob, go out of their way to dislike a video for the only purpose of everyone else is doing it. But do you know who that happens to? It happens to YouTube. Like, themselves. And pretty much nobody else. If you look at the top list of most disliked videos on all of YouTube, the number one result is the YouTube 2018 Rewind. And the reason why it's that high is because everybody fucking hated it. And so they told their friends, oh, it was terrible. It was pandering, it was fake, it was empty, and worst of all, it didn't actually show a compilation of what YouTube had to offer from both 2018 and the years prior. It was basically a YouTube advertisement, and everybody knew it. They spread the message to their friends, and that's why it got dislike bombed. Yes, it was, I guess you could say, a mob, but it was really more of a pushback from the actual community to say, this isn't what we are. So right, going back to the whole idea of the dislike mob, I mean, on the surface, it's just a layout change that YouTube is known to do. They are known to change their platform to identify more closely with their goals. But on another hand, it's just another way to silence individual people. Because the thing is, companies don't need dislike bars. In fact, they are only hurt by them. The number of likes and being ratioed is the next thing that will go for sites like Twitter and now YouTube, because dislikes are essentially useless. We will end up in a future where being able to show open dissent for content that you just do not like will become much harder or impossible. And that's not a future I think most people watching this video, or most people with their head on straight, really want.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys want to add to that?
No.
That's where it ends.
Okay.
No. We got. Wait.
Well,
we got
no.
one more
That's where that
topic.
topic ends, but we have some other things to talk about.
That was like a nice big speech. I might need to put in like the NFT shit before that.
No, we gotta put this last. We gotta put this last, KYKA.
Okay. Fine.
All right. So, next thing, let's talk about NFTs. First of all, what do you two know about NFTs?
Well, I know Austin owns an almond.
That's sad.
Well, it is a digital image that it's one of a kind.
Not an image.
Isn't it not an image?
It's not inherently
Can
an
be
image.
an image.
It's not that you own the image. You own. Okay, I'll explain for the audience. An NFT, or non-fungible token, it's been around for a little while, but it's mostly popping off because of the left's adamant hate for it. An NFT is essentially a token that is mined like a coin for cryptocurrency and is distributed to people for high prices that state with proof, well, quote-unquote proof, that you own a certain piece of media. It can be an image, it most often is, but it can also be something like a tile of land in a fake virtual world that you will never get to see or experience. I'm looking at you, Earth 2. Or maybe that's a crypto scheme. I don't know. But anyways, NFTs are basically the new fad right now, and everyone's getting really mad about it. But the important part is that most people don't really understand what they even are. No, they're not just images, but money. The NFTs are essentially just tags of ownership. They're price tags that you put on images to say, hey, I own this, and if you want it from me, you have to buy this tag from me. That's all they are. And the claims that they are destroying the environment are essentially they're wasting power. So yes, you do have to mine the coin, the token, that sort of declares ownership. That does require processing power and therefore real, actual, like, grid power. But, first of all, power use is not all carbon intensive. Thanks to the efforts of, leftists, but also just, technology progressing in general, not all power is used by burning fossil fuels or coal. Some of it is generated from solar and wind turbines. And that percentage of the power that is going into making NFTs a reality is not at the cost of the planet. It is only at the cost of the sun or the air, which are both replenishable and aren't going to be diminished in quality from being used to print that you own a reskinned picture of Donkey Kong or whatever. Right? Whatever you want to use your NFTs for, whenever images or products or digital things that you want to put your token on, right, when it comes to this new market, it's, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have this idea that it's like every time you mine an NFT, you're like basically like killing the planet slowly, like single-handedly. But the truth is, it's not using significantly more processing power and therefore real power than playing a high-intensity video game, or compressing into a video in a video editor software, or anything else that requires a large amount of computing and RAM and power to process on a computer. NFTs are not worse. They're just the same. So, essentially, the complaint is, NFTs are bad because I don't understand them, and I don't like that they exist, and they're a waste of power, and therefore, if you use NFTs, you're killing the planet. And that's a stupid argument. So that's essentially an introduction to the hate on NFTs.
Bad.
Yeah. So, but do you guys know anything about what's going on with the discourse other than that?
I know there's a lot of NFT scams going around.
Oh yeah, no, there's plenty of scams because essentially, you can just lie about ownership and you can make a false token or a token that isn't really acknowledged by anyone, or just shut it down once you've already given away all your tokens and made your money. Oh no, there's plenty of scams just like for crypto, but I still think that it should be given a chance. That it's the one chance we have other than like gold or whatever to fight back against fiat currency, which Biden is currently tanking. So, there's that.
Yeah, there's a lot of crypto scams, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I still think that it's worth it. But more importantly, I'd say, is what the discourse about commissions, and I'm specifically talking about art commissions from independent freelance artists on the internet. I personally believe that if you buy an NFT, you are a sucker. I know I've just been like saying that NFTs are good actually, or at least not bad, but I genuinely believe that if you buy an NFT, you have a lot of money, and that money should be going towards something much better. And one of those things that it could be going to is an artist commissions. Essentially, you can pay someone to draw whatever you want. Whatever you want within their limits, within their talent and within their capability and within their willingness, they as freelance artists on the internet, they will draw you whatever you want, and it will probably be much cheaper than buying the token of an NFT. You won't get the same ownership status, but to be completely honest, nobody really cares. Nobody's going to respect your NFT ownership because, fun fact, if you're on Google, they can look at the image that you have, that you bought, as an NFT, and they can just right-click and save as image. And your ownership has essentially meant nothing. I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. But what I am saying is that it's kind of stupid. And if you buy them, you are also kind of stupid. And you should just get commissions instead. They're just better. They support more artists. You probably get a lot more creative freedom. They're cheaper. And, well, yeah, they're not going to use as much processing power to create. So, yeah, it is technically more eco-friendly, if by only the smallest margin. So, that's my take on NFTs. Good and bad.
Yeah. Kind of like everything in life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, there's people who are like, NFTs are the devil, and there's NFTs are the future, and they're both kind of dumb.
Yes.
Anyways. All right, so I believe that's it for this episode.
Wait.
What?
Wait. There's one more thing.
There's one more thing?
A release of a new channel? Wait, what?
The
What?
Autism Squad.
So, me and KYKA and a few other friends...
Really? Really? You took this opportunity to advertise your Destiny 2 gaming channel. Okay. Make it quick.
Watching. This has been Sons of Liberty. I have been Sunnyhawkeye. I'm here with my co-hosts KYKA and King Chao. And we're signing out.
You didn't make your announcement. I server muted you for a joke. Do it now.
Autism Squad, go subscribe. I'll put it on screen now. Bye.
Dang it. Had such a good thing.
Okay, everyone, do your outro.
We just did it.
Wait, no, but I was gonna say season 2 might be coming up. Maybe whatever.
Oh, never mind.
Whatever.
Right, go
done.
For it.
Done. We're done.
That was the outro. Whoa.
Go subscribe to Autism Squad.
Yeah.
Sounds
So, Sunny, start the outro.
Oh. Hey. Alright, see you guys. We're signing out. This has been Sunnyhawkeye. Go subscribe to Autism Squad channel. It's cool. Destiny 2 content with me, KYKA, and a couple other friends. You might see King Chao there. You never know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Alright then. See ya. Peace.
Wait.
Season 2.
No, but then Keiko was gonna say something, and I was gonna say something, and then I'll be like,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
we're done.
Watch out for King Chao Season 2. He's definitely going to be consistent. He's definitely going to be posting every day.
I'm uploading. Yup. Obviously. Okay, yeah. So thank you for watching. Go check out Autism Squad if you like Destiny 2 and also aneurysms, and go check out my channel if you like shitty memes from 4+ years ago. I might post. We'll see. I don't know. I have servers to make. I have a pretty booked schedule. Anyways, yeah, thank you for watching. I don't know how to end videos. Bye.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.